The Galactic Council called itself the Guardian of Peace. Inside its massive crystal chamber, thousands of alien leaders floated or stood on glowing platforms. Light from distant stars shone through the tall walls. At the center of the hall, the human ambassador waited. He had come with hope. Earth had followed every rule. Earth had shared its science. Earth had trusted the Council. Today, the Council promised a final vote to welcome humanity as a full member. The Council speaker raised one long, thin limb. "Humanity has shown great growth," the speaker said, "but growth brings danger." The words sounded kind, but something felt cold. Far from the chamber, in the quiet dark of space, human listening stations began to fail. One by one, their signals faded into silence. No alarms reached Earth. The human ambassador felt uneasy. He looked at the glowing screens behind him. They showed calm stars and peaceful worlds. Then a small red warning light blinked. His aide leaned close and whispered, "Long-range sensors are being blocked. Someone is jamming our eyes." The ambassador's heart tightened. The speaker continued, "For the safety of the galaxy, we must take action." "What action?" the ambassador asked. The chamber went silent. A large display formed in the air. It showed human defense stations near Mars. Unknown warships surrounded them. Their weapons were charging. "These are Council peace fleets," the speaker said. "They will secure human space." "Secure?" the ambassador repeated. The screen changed. A human station vanished in a burst of fire. Gasps filled the chamber. "You promised protection. This is an attack." The speaker's voice stayed calm. "Earth is too fast, too strong. The galaxy cannot risk another empire." "You fear us," the ambassador said. "We control threats," the speaker replied. At that moment, Earth's orbital shield flickered. A shockwave of energy spread across its surface. Cities felt the tremor. Skies glowed red for a second. The Council had already begun. The ambassador sent an emergency signal to Earth. It barely escaped the jamming field. "Council has betrayed us," the message said. "They strike first." Back in the chamber, alien leaders avoided the ambassador's eyes. Some looked afraid, some looked ashamed, and some looked satisfied. The ambassador stood alone under the crystal light, watching Earth burn on the screen. Peace had been a lie. The war had started before humanity could even speak.
Across the solar system, alarms finally woke. On Mars, human mining colonies saw strange ships drop out of warp. The ships were not shaped like any known human design. They moved in perfect lines and fired bright beams of blue light. Defense satellites tried to respond. They were destroyed in seconds. Near Jupiter, research stations lost power. Windows cracked. Metal halls shook as explosions echoed through space. On Earth, people looked up. The sky changed color for a moment. A deep red wave passed over the planet like a warning from the stars. In coastal cities, ocean sensors detected strange energy pulses. Air defense systems turned toward space. Sirens screamed across continents. In underground command centers, generals and scientists gathered. Screens showed burning stations and broken fleets. "They are cutting our outer lines," one officer said. "They are testing our shield," another said. The world leaders did not shout. They did not panic. They already knew the truth. "This is not a mistake," the Earth commander said. "This is planned." Humanity had feared this day. Since their first contact with alien life, they had prepared for betrayal, not because they wanted war, but because they knew fear ruled the galaxy. Hidden bases deep under mountains powered up. Black fleets slept in secret orbits and began to move. In the council chamber, the human ambassador was still standing. The screen now showed smoke over Earth's defense stations. He clenched his hands. "You call this peace?" he asked. The council speaker did not answer. Some alien leaders whispered to each other. A few stood and left their seats. Others watched with interest, as if this were a test. On Earth, a final report arrived from the outer system. "Council fleets are advancing," the message said. "They aim to disable, not destroy. They want us weak." The Earth commander nodded slowly. "They want us to kneel. They want us to beg for mercy." He turned to a silent panel on the wall. One button glowed red. This system had never been used. It had no name on public records, only a code. "Activate Human Response Protocol," he ordered. The button was pressed. Across hidden space, human ships woke from dark silence. Their engines glowed like stars being born. Weapons unlocked, navigation systems aligned toward distant council worlds. No speeches were made, no warnings were sent. Humanity had learned something in that moment. Peace offered by fear was not peace at all, and Earth would not wait to be broken, not again.
Deep in space, far beyond human colonies, dark shapes began to move. They were ships no alien had ever seen before. Human fleets emerged from hidden warp points inside Council territory, not at the borders, not near warning stations. They appeared close to shipyards, command centers, and military hubs. Council sensors screamed. Admirals rushed to their screens. "How did they get here?" one cried. "Our shields were never breached," another said. Human ships did not answer. They moved with silent purpose. Long metal hulls reflected starlight. Their weapons glowed with white energy, not blue like the Council's. The first strike was precise. A Council command relay vanished in a flash. No debris, no warning, just empty space where control had once existed. Shipyards followed. Docked fleets were disabled before they could launch. Power systems collapsed. Weapon cores shut down. On Council worlds, cities saw strange lights in the sky. Not explosions, just brief flashes, like lightning in space. Panic spread. The Council speaker demanded contact with Earth. Humanity replied with one message, sent across every known channel. "You struck first. We respond now." Inside the Council chamber, fear replaced pride. "This was meant to weaken them," one alien leader whispered, "not wake them." Human fleets stopped after destroying only military targets. They did not touch civilian planets. They did not strike trade routes. They only removed weapons, and then they waited. In orbit above Earth, human defense systems rose again. The planetary shield strengthened. New satellites took their place. On the ground, people watched the stars in silence. They had felt the fear. They had seen the red sky. Now they saw something else. Human ships returning from deep space, glowing like moving suns. The Earth commander received the battle report. "Council attack neutralized," an officer said. "Their fleets are blind and scattered." "How long did it take?" the commander asked. The officer checked the time. 32 seconds, he said. The room went quiet. No one cheered, no one smiled. Victory did not feel like joy. It felt like proof. Proof that trust had been broken. Proof that fear ruled the stars. In distant systems, alien species watched in disbelief. The Galactic Council, ancient and feared, had been stopped. Not with words, with speed, with preparation, with restraint. And in that silence after the strikes, the galaxy understood something new.
Humans did not need permission to defend themselves. They only needed a reason. And the Council had given them one.
Across the galaxy, the news spread faster than fear. Trade worlds, research stations, and neutral systems received the same broken signals. Council fleets were silent. Military hubs were dark. Long-range weapons no longer answered their commands. The Galactic Council had lost its strength in less than a minute. Other species watched in shock. They had believed the Council was eternal. They had believed its power could not be questioned. Now they saw proof that it could. On a distant water world, a group of alien scholars gathered around a floating screen. The image showed a Council fortress drifting powerless in space. "Humans did this?" one asked. "Yes," another replied, "in seconds." Fear grew, but so did curiosity. If humans could break the Council, could they be trusted more than it? Inside the Council chamber, chaos ruled. The speaker demanded reports, but none came. Command lines were gone. Defense grids were silent. "You said Earth would fall," one leader shouted. "You said they were weak." "They are reckless," another argued. "They attack without warning." "They were attacked first," a quiet voice replied. Many turned. It was a small delegate from a minor species. "The Council struck Earth in secret," the delegate said. "We voted on lies." Screens lit up with leaked records, secret meetings, hidden orders, fleet movement logs. The truth poured out. The Council had planned the attack long before the vote. Murmurs filled the chamber. Some leaders rose from their seats and left. Others demanded answers. Some hid their faces in shame. On Earth, people watched alien news for the first time. The galaxy was arguing about them. The Earth commander spoke to the world. "We did not seek war," he said. "We defended ourselves. We will not chase power, but we will not accept chains." Human fleets stayed near Council space, not attacking, not leaving. They waited. Neutral systems began to pull away from the Council. Trade ships changed routes. Embassies closed. The old order began to crack. A rumor spread through the stars. Humans do not rule with fear. They rule with memory. In quiet corners of space, some species sent secret messages to Earth. Not for help, not for weapons, for truth. And the galaxy, which once trusted the Council without question, began to look at humanity with new eyes. Not as children, not as threats, but something different, something awake, something that remembered every promise and every lie. The Galactic Council no longer spoke with one voice. Some members demanded peace with Earth, others demanded revenge. Inside the broken chamber, the speaker tried to regain control. "We must strike again," the speaker said. "Humanity must be taught fear." But many seats were now empty. Several species had already left the Council. Their ships had returned home. Their flags no longer hung in the Crystal Hall. "They lied to us," one remaining leader said. "They said humans planned conquest, but humans only destroyed weapons." "They humiliated us," another shouted. "The galaxy now doubts us." The speaker's eyes darkened. "Then we will restore our power." A new fleet was ordered to form. Shipyards worked day and night. Weapons were rebuilt in secret. But spies watched. Across the galaxy, information flowed toward Earth, not from allies, but from those who feared another lie. Human intelligence networks grew stronger. Every movement of the Council was seen. Every order was heard. On Earth, leaders met again. "They are rebuilding," an officer said, slowly, quietly. The Earth commander nodded. "Let them."
Human fleets did not attack, they waited. Humanity focused on defense. New shields were built around the solar system. Deep space stations watched every path to Earth. Cities returned to normal life, but people looked at the stars differently now. Children learned a new lesson in school. Trust must be earned and protected. In council space, fear replaced pride. Military officers whispered of human speed. Scientists spoke of unknown weapons. Merchants feared losing trade. Worlds once loyal to the Council began to question its rule. If they lied about Earth, what else did they lie about? Protests formed on Council worlds. Citizens demanded the truth. They wanted to know why Earth had been attacked. Some leaders were removed. Some were arrested. Some fled. The Council's power weakened from inside. Humanity sent one more message to the stars. We will not rule you. We will not chase you. But we will not forget. The message was not loud. It did not threaten. That made it more frightening. The galaxy had always feared empires. It had never feared memory. And now every species understood something new. Earth did not want control. Earth wanted respect. And the Council, once the master of the galaxy, now struggled to survive its own lie.
Years passed after the betrayal. The Galactic Council still existed, but it was no longer feared. Its crystal halls were quieter. Its commands were questioned. Many species had formed new unions built on open votes and shared records. Earth was not part of any empire. Humanity chose distance instead of dominance. Human fleets no longer hid in shadow. They guarded trade lanes, rescued ships in distress, and kept silent watch near dangerous borders. They did not demand payment. They did not ask for praise. They only asked one thing: speak the truth. On a small neutral world, a young alien historian studied old records. One story appeared again and again: the day Earth was betrayed. It told how the Council struck first, how humans answered in seconds, how power was broken without burning worlds. The historian wrote, "Humanity did not conquer the galaxy, they changed it." On Earth, cities grew taller, ships grew faster. Children looked at the stars without fear. They knew what waited out there. They also knew they were ready. One day, a new council speaker visited Earth. This one bowed. "We were wrong," the speaker said. "We judged by fear." The human representative replied, "Fear creates enemies. Truth creates neighbors." The speaker asked, "Will humanity forgive us?" The human paused. "We remember," he said, "but we also learn." New treaties were signed. No secret votes, no hidden fleets. Every decision was shared with every member. The galaxy slowly healed, but the story never faded. On distant worlds, parents warned their children, never lie to humans, never strike them first, never assume they are weak, because everyone knew what happened when Earth was betrayed. Humans did not shout, they did not threaten, they acted, fast, precise, together. And in the great history of the stars, a new rule replaced the old one. Power does not come from fear, it comes from trust. The Galactic Council had once tried to control humanity. Instead, humanity taught the galaxy how to be honest. And from that day forward, the stars remembered Earth not as a threat, but as the species that answered betrayal with discipline, fear with preparation, and lies with truth. The galaxy had learned its lesson, and it would never forget who taught it.